Okay, here we go. Intro time.
Yep.
And hello, everyone. Welcome to Just BSing number 9. I'm Thomas, aka Mr. Warburg. Beside me, / kind of below me, is Joey,
What up, boys and girls?
aka Bottom Shelf Joe. Our Twitter handles are above and below us, respectively, or below us and above us, respectively. Actually, we're the Bottom Shelf Nerds, him and I, as well as some frequent contributors that we'll have on in future episodes as well. We got a short but jam-packed episode tonight. A lot of E3 goodness, some local Iowa news, a couple trailers to watch, and some weird stuff out of Korea and sharks. Just gonna leave it at that until we get there. So, to not belabor the point, Joey, E3 happened last week. We took a week off because my tooth has been bugging the shit out of me, and I'm actually going to get one pulled tomorrow. It's going to be super great. So, I'm actually I just wanted to get the podcast in before any of that happened because I don't know how long that's going to take to heal. So, I'm pretty loaded up on ibuprofen and Tylenol right now.
Nice. So what's the ruling on the tooth? Don't mind me.
It's got to come out. That's why it's getting pulled.
Well, reasoning for getting pulled out? Sorry.
Because it's got a massive cavity. Why else would it get pulled? It's not a wisdom tooth. If it's a wisdom tooth, that's totally different.
Dying.
That's just because your mouth generally doesn't have room for those because we've evolved to not need them
Weird.
if they're still there.
Oh, we didn't evolve, Tom. Just kidding. Sorry.
Yeah.
No
Yeah, like our mouths have gotten smaller, so the teeth haven't. So it doesn't really work. Oh, I didn't write the start time down. I want to say that was like 35-ish. 35-ish. That's going on my note sheet. So, like I said, E3 happened when we took a break. So some stuff happened. Lots of stuff happened. Keanu Reeves happened again.
Yeah, he did. Beautiful man.
So let's talk about, and of course we have our chat too. So what did you guys get from E3? Let us know as we go here. Let's talk about our biggest takeaways. I don't want to go through the whole show because it's a lot of stuff. We don't talk about just video games. We talk a lot about video games. Because we're on Twitch.
Yeah.
So Joey, what were some of your big takeaways from E3?
Mine, I was mostly kind of focused around Microsoft a little bit.
Same here.
What I saw.
Them and Bethesda, those are my big two.
Yeah. One thing I thought was kind of cool, the new Minecraft game was kind of coming out. I was kind of interested when I saw, but to me, it looked like when they first revealed it was like a cell phone game, because like the overhead view, and it looked like they tapped and like character moved, and it's kind of like a dungeon crawler game. That looks kind of cool. Let's see if I can do. Yeah, I feel like they focused a lot on the Xbox Pass. And they also came out with the Ultimate Pass or whatever, which is like $15 a month. But I think it's a pretty reasonable price. Because that basically took place of my WoW subscription because I don't play that anymore because reasons. I thought it was kind of cool. They offer a lot of interesting things to the Xbox Pass because I just got it because it was $1 for the first month, and I was like, let's see what they got. Because you can get like the whole correct me if I'm wrong, the Borderlands
Handsome Jack collection.
Yeah, Handsome Jack. There you go. Someone in the ballpark of that. It actually is that. We got that. You can download that for free, just on the pass, and then you can also get Gears of War 4 for free, and it's kind of interesting. I downloaded some games from it yet. And then we got some interesting things. Fallout 76 came out with a battle royale. Interesting. Apex. They talked more about Apex Season 2, which should be interesting. Me and the boys are trying to get ready for it. Square Enix announced, gave us more detail in the Final Fantasy VII remaster, basically almost a relaunch. It feels like because it's not quite the same combat. They kind of reinvented that, and they're gonna launch it in chapters or phases. And they say the first place is gonna be focused around Midgar. I think I pronounced it right. No, not Midgar. Sorry, I'm not quite sure. Whatever. So we focused around that, and they said they're gonna have 2 Blu-ray discs worth of stuff to do. Like, how much information is a Blu-ray disc?
I have no idea. That was a really weird talking point because it's like, what does that mean?
Can we just say gigs or whatever? But,
right, like say hours of gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like, put it in a term that's way more easily relatable than fucking. That's what you can fit on a Blu-ray disc.
Woo! Like, okay, if it's on 1,000 floppy disks, you can say that too. But whatever. And one thing that launched that I'm weird about the Avengers game, I'm not for sure. So like, I only heard a little bit of it, and so it's like a 3 squad game of some sort. I'm not for sure. You can do solo stories, and I'm not 1,000% sure on that Avengers game. What are your thoughts on that? There,
Well, I'll
Tom?
get to that. I want to focus on something that Mr. Alex Jones, Chaos Black, in the chat said, was that Fallout 6 is also getting NPCs in a future update. Played it off as it's because of like the world changed because of the stuff you've been doing in the game, or the players have been doing in the game. And actually, really, that was the update that caught my eye. That was the update that made me go, oh, well, shit, that might be a game I now pick up on sale now. When it gets like super, super cheap. Because it's still got issues with the economy and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's gotten, don't get me wrong, I know it's gotten much more stable on the actual technical side, but the actual community and economy side need a lot of work. And maybe the Battle Royale gets enough people to come in and improve that, because you need fresh blood to dilute the economy that they've got going on.
Yeah. But the Battle Royale, I think it's just the new hot thing for right now.
And I do think that'll bring some people. It'll bring people back a little bit,
Yeah.
just a little bit, and that's really all they need, because they've patched a lot of the major glitches and exploits of like duplicating shit, which is what broke their economy, and they've gotten back to features that people wanted in the first place. Much like Anthem didn't have those, and I don't think Anthem's going to get to this point, which is where I think, to Bethesda's credit, they're getting there. I don't think Anthem's ever gonna, from a different studio.
I don't
but
think it's gonna.
I don't think it's got the legs to get there, whereas Bethesda, this was like, no, this was our passion project, not something for EA to hang their hat on like a Destiny. Totally different circumstances for why they were made. But yeah, the NPCs, that actually was really cool. Like, that was one thing that always bugged me about the Fallout 76 thing. It was like, you're using the Fallout 4 engine, and say what you will about Fallout 4's story, their NPCs and NPC interactions were all actually pretty good. Like, compared to New Vegas and 3, the NPCs, not quest-focused NPCs, were pretty well fleshed out. Like, the world was not super deep, but it was very broad. And it was not, like, super shallow and broad, which is, you're in the shallows of, like, an ocean versus the shallows of a lake. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't crazy deep, but it had a lot of breadth, a lot of width to that game. And you're using that engine in that world. Why not make it... Again, it felt like it was, like, a half-baked, like... They were building it as like a Fallout 4 story expansion, which would have been pretty fucking cool, to be honest. And then they decided to make it a multiplayer thing and just stripped out all the NPCs.
Yeah.
Always struck me as weird. And the NPCs aspect, bringing back OG quests kind of stuff, that's got me interested.
Yeah. That's what kind of needed.
Yeah. On top of the vanilla game that it launched with like the find them as you go type quests from the robots and what you find in the world of like the logs people leave and stuff. On top of that type of world building with actual quests from NPCs, that's got my interest.
And like the whole nuke thing was pretty fun to do too. I never did launch a nuke, but like we tried to get the codes and like try to figure all that stuff out. That was kind of fun. I didn't really have that big of problems with the game. It's just like I always felt like I was always overweight because I was always carrying like too many, like for example, like bobby pins and like just too much, too many guns and like I don't know. I always felt like I was just way overweight the whole time when I was playing.
Yeah, they made some weird mechanics choices like that. Like in previous games, bobby pins, unless you were playing on survival, they didn't weigh anything.
Yeah,
you could have thousands, and it wouldn't matter. And besides, thousands of bobby pins, not that fucking heavy.
Yeah, we're talking maybe some pounds.
Talking,
but,
like it's not great.
If you had like 100 bobby pins at one point in time, I think it was almost 10 pounds, and I was like, "This is ridiculous."
Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah,
like, what are they made out of? Like literally wrought iron bobby pins.
Just wrought iron. Yeah, and their stash system was based off weight too, which I thought was kind of stupid, if I remember right.
Yeah. So that one, I'm curious to see the future of that game.
Mm-hmm.
Other stuff you mentioned, the Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to some people doing some various different, hot takes and stuff because we're doing this late, but it's always telling to look at Microsoft versus like a Sony or a Nintendo. Microsoft, you can totally tell, oh, they're a fucking software company. Like, they focus on subscriptions, on getting Xbox onto Switch, and expanding into PC, putting Halo on PC. Like, they are diversifying in a way that most other companies in the sphere of gaming don't, because they don't have to give a shit about hardware. It's nice, it's a feather in their cap, but
Mm-hmm.
you're buying the hardware that unless you're running Apple, you're
Yeah.
paying Microsoft money.
Yeah, true.
Like, to buy your PC, you paid Microsoft money. Not directly, obviously you're paying Asus,
Somewhat.
Acer, Dell, whatever.
Yeah.
But they paid Microsoft to put their OS on, right?
Mhm.
Like, that is Microsoft's bread and butter. They are so much bigger than any of these other companies, except now Google getting into the industry. Like,
Yeah.
as much as Sony has kicked the shit out of Microsoft in the console wars, Microsoft doesn't give a fuck. Because they make so much more fucking money than Sony. Sony loses money in literally everything but gaming. Microsoft still makes money in gaming.
Really?
It also makes
Yeah.
fucking boatloads elsewhere. They don't have to give a shit.
No.
And their Game Pass system is cool because I already do the $10
Yeah.
a month for the Xbox Live thing because it's convenience.
Yeah.
And add on $5 to buy like games like Ori Will of the Wisps, and I think that's on there. At
Yeah.
least the first one is. And like Gears 4 and the stuff you mentioned, like that's awesome. Being able to just download that on any platform I want to play it on, if assuming it's crossplay or one of their Play Anywhere titles.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's a fantastic deal. Like,
yeah.
you don't have to go buy a game. This is the thing that kills GameStop. Like, this type of infrastructure of play where you want, when you want, how you want, download when you want, uninstall, do whatever. You don't even have to buy discs. It's going to be on the PC.
Go.
Everything's tied to your Game Pass library. You know, like, as long as you have Game Pass, you got anything you
Like-
want. And because Microsoft owns all these IPs, they're gonna be there. You know, like, they
They
don't
will
pull
be.
the Disney Vault bullshit
Just frustrating.
like that. And you know Disney's gonna do that with Disney Plus. They're gonna pull the Vault stuff and only have certain titles
yeah.
on during certain times of the year. It's gonna happen, except for their big shit like Star Wars and Marvel. You know, the
That'd be the consistent.
Disney animation movies are gonna rotate. They're not always all gonna be on there. That ain't Disney's MO. Microsoft doesn't operate like that, at least so far. They're
Let's hope
much
not.
in the, hey, here's all your stuff. Just buy Game Pass. Here's all your stuff.
But can you vault a game? I mean, that doesn't seem right to do.
You could stop people from downloading it.
I guess, yeah.
You
but-
can't. I mean, I don't think. I honestly don't think Microsoft is not anti-consumer enough to pull your files off something like Sony did with
Yeah.
PT, and that was more of a legal issue because Konami was being an asshole.
Oh,
That really wasn't a Sony call. That was definitely a Konami wanting to stick their shit in Kojima and Del Toro's shit. But that was a whole different. That's a kind of an apples to oranges conversation. But
yeah.
Microsoft again showing that, yeah, they're definitely the pro-consumer.
Yeah.
Like, and that's something I really like. I think they're more pro-consumer than like a Nintendo. They just have a hard time branding like Nintendo does
Jesus.
because Nintendo's so family focused. It's
Yeah,
just like the
Nintendo's-
services that Microsoft offers are so much broader than what Nintendo does.
God, yes.
Like, the eShop on Nintendo's a joke,
Oh, it's how it is. It's working.
you know?
Ugh.
And
It's-
Microsoft
I
just,
mean, really well.
when they launched Xbox One, it's still rippling through and creating problems, like having two different Xbox stores. That's bad. They should have unified them. Should have all been one thing. But they couldn't for various reasons. You know, it is what it is. But I'm very excited about Games Pass. What else did you bring up?
We Final Fantasy VII the remake. That looks fucking dope as fuck.
Never played any
yeah.
Final Fantasy. Never was my thing.
Oh, that's pretty fun. Apex Season 2 finally coming out. Just
I'm
kind
gonna
of-
get back into that Apex when that drops for sure.
And then we talked the
Minecraft
Avengers game.
And
Minecraft,
Avengers.
Yeah. Yep, those two things.
So Minecraft game very much like a Diablo meets Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly what it looks like. And I think it's gonna do well. I think it'll do gangbusters, really do.
Yeah, I mean Microsoft owns that IP, so they're gonna milk it for all it's worth.
Oh hell yeah! I think they're doing it right. I mean,
And Minecraft has had a little bit of a resurgence lately.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
You know, it had a strong undercurrent community, and then it just kind of gained more steam again very recently, which is kind of cool to see from a game that's like what 7 years old, 8 years old. Long
Yeah,
time.
I
It's
mean-
older than Grand Theft Auto 5.
Jeez, yeah, it's pre Grand Theft Auto 5. Jeez, how
Was it
old is
20?
Grand Theft Auto 5? Hold on,
That was 2013.
2013. Okay. Minecraft's older by a long shot.
Yeah, Minecraft's quite a bit older. I just can't remember when it went 1.0. like when it launched. That's different than when it hit that early access period for fucking ever. When it was totally sellable as a done product, and they just didn't.
2009.
Okay, so it's 10 years old.
Yeah.
And Microsoft owns it, so they're gonna be, milking that. So Avengers, what'd you think?
I thought it was like if somebody went and described someone that's never seen the Avengers to someone and told them to make a game based on that description. That was kind of what my thought.
Yeah, for the design.
What I saw.
I think the story looks interesting, but man, those character designs made me go. They do know next gen's like in a year, right?
Yeah.
Like, fucking Rise and Xbox One launch title look better than this.
I know.
Like, you're Square Enix.
Yeah.
The fuck you doing?
You can do something better. Come on, guys.
Like this looked more like Ultimate Alliance than Ultimate Alliance 3 looked. That's not good.
Damn.
And like, and people were getting mad about the voice stuff. I'm like, no, the voices are great. They don't match the character designs, and that's on the design team because they got a dynamite cast. It's what Laura Bailey, Troy Baker, Nolan North, and I'm blanking on the other two big ones that are in there. It's a dynamite VO cast.
Yeah, it's a pretty good.
And they just totally fucking whiffed on the designs for everybody, I think, except Bruce and the Hulk. That doesn't look bad. But everyone else just looks like God of War 3 era graphics.
That's true. Shit. Yeah. Basically nailed it with that graphic description.
Captain America looks like a bad guy in an Arkham Asylum game.
Yeah. I mean, why is he wearing hockey gear? It doesn't.
I'm not wearing hockey pants. But Captain America is totally wearing hockey pants. Like, he just looks bulky for the sake of not, like, being just to be different. Like, they look like they were like, we could be like the games, or for the movies, which are pretty comic accurate anyway, except for Thor, the helmet and everything. Yeah. Still, his armor's pretty damn close. But fuck it, let's just do our own thing. Like, I mean, I get it, but you're clearly trying to go for. That you're banking on that hype. Lean into it.
Close to the visual likeness of some, but
lean into it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Own up to it, man.
And I'm still curious to see where it goes because I think the story's actually going to be good.
Okay.
Because Square has a history of telling good stories in games.
That's true.
So, it looks like a good Marvel story setup.
I'm curious on gameplay. That's mostly what I'm interested in.
And we still haven't seen gameplay. And it's like, you guys announced this 2 years ago. Give us some gameplay. Give us some fucking gameplay.
Didn't realize they announced.
We didn't get any. So that was that. Anything else you want to add?
To that one, no. I just wanted to kind of get your feelings on. I was curious if you're like upset or on the ballpark.
I mean, it doesn't really bother me. There's so many great games to play anyway that even if this one's not a gem, we're still. I mean, I still have Marvel's Spider-Man to get to. Like,
oh jeez,
I have it. I got it for my birthday, and I still haven't played it. I got too many games to play, man. Too many games, and that's a great problem to have.
Oh yeah.
Amazing problem to have. I'm surprised you didn't bring up Fallen Order. That game looks fucking awesome.
Does it?
Oh, dude, it's Titanfall movement mechanics meets kind of some God of War fighting in Star Wars, in canon Star Wars. Fuck yeah.
For some reason, I didn't feel
the guy. He picks up a stormtrooper, freezes a blaster bolt, moves the stormtrooper in front of the blaster bolts, and lets the bolt go. Hits him right in the head. It was fucking awesome.
I don't know. For some reason, I didn't feel anything when watching it. I wasn't like, oh my god. I was just like, okay.
I think you're fucking crazy. That lightsaber combat looked so good.
Looked okay. I mean.
Well, clearly you need to play God of War because that's what this reminded me of so hard.
Okay.
Like,
so,
oh my god,
I haven't played it.
Like new God of War. This really like the way the movement is tracking and the way they track you as the character. Like, oh damn, this looks like God of War a little bit, and I like it. Like, man, God of War, one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
And if they could translate that to fucking Star Wars with all the cool shit a Jedi can do, damn.
They'd be making some.
Oh damn!
If they could kind of get that kind of same success.
Yeah, and it's from Respawn. Like, oh, it's just, and these guys get combat, like how everything works in combat. They just get it in a way a lot of developers I wish could. So I am extremely excited to see this game. So and again, I'm more curious to see how it looks, as we get closer to release date. But we're only like 4 months out, 5 months out.
Jesus,
So
wow, okay.
it's this November.
Really closer than I thought.
It's one of the few games that was at E3 that's actually coming out this year.
That's another thing I wanted to bring up, but I didn't write it down. Was like there was a lot of 2020 release dates.
And 2020 is next gen now.
Yeah.
And 2020 is still technically also this year. Like, for a lot of these companies, their years don't end until March.
Oh.
Their fiscal years end the following year. This is like the start of their year. And here's what's coming in the rest of our fiscal year. Business calendars are fucking not the same as everybody else.
Yeah. It's like a hype E3.
And it's a hype for next year. So, my list, let's go through that.
Yeah.
My top takeaways, 2019, like I said, didn't have a ton. There's 3 games plus the Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen Order, that I really do want to play. One of which underwhelmed me a lot at this E3, given that it's only 3 months away from release. And that's Gears of War 5.
Yeah.
We didn't even get we got a trailer for Kate Diaz, which was cool.
Yeah.
And there was has other stuff that came out, like Ruel Coley, awesome dude. He was in one of the most funny Funhouse videos they have ever done. That's the one with him and Jacob Fullerton and John and Alana, and they play like this game called like Asunder or something. Yeah. Joey, I'm gonna link it to you. It's so good. Okay. I literally almost pissed myself laughing. So good. Ruel Coley, he's in iZombie. He's one of the leads in the game, or one of the supporting characters in the game. Chaos, the blending of the story and the open world, like the linear nature, that's where I got the God of War vibes. I'm like, oh, I see where you want me to go, but there's also some extra stuff to do, like different ways to get to this thing. That kind of semi-open world linear structure to a story game, I really dig. I mean, a lot of other games do it too, like Uncharted's done it, Tomb Raider's done it, a lot of games do it. Even Halo has done it in 4 and 5. So it's not like super original, but like blending that all into the Star Wars universe with good combat. Oh, give me that. And the Star Wars music. Oh, god damn. That little sizzle reel they did when he's fighting an ATST at the end. Oh, fuck yes. And just the sound of like the blasters coming out of the ATST. I'm like, oh, I'm having flashbacks to the first time I watched the Battle of Endor, and I'm excited. Let's see. Yeah, Gears of War 5 kind of underwhelmed me. Like, that was all we got. Like some Terminator stuff, a pop figure game, and a weird, an interesting character trailer for Kate Diaz, and that's it. Like, it's out in 3 months, guys. Give us some fucking metal as hell hype for this game, because I actually really fucking liked Gears 4. Like Gears, the original Gears trilogy, fantastic. One of the best things the 360 did. Oh, yeah. And then Gears of War 4, I was like, okay. Nobody really needed this, and then it turned out to be really good. Gameplay was solid. They paid like really good respect to the OG characters, like with Marcus coming in and all like Cole and Baird and everybody at the end. That was awesome. Like, that was so cool. And then there's like no hype for this game. Like internally, it's like they're not hyping it, which either tells me it's going to be bad, like it's not like a good game story wise, or they're focusing too much on the next year already. Like they're just not hyping this game. I don't know. It's weird where the hype is for this game. Like, it's out in 3 months from the day of E3. It was 3 months. Like,
yeah, and there's been nothing really.
Right?
I mean,
like,
for a 3 month game,
you're in the same year as a Wolfenstein and a Doom game. Yeah, you need to go fucking metal, dude. Like, go hard, because that's the exact same audience.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close probably. I mean, like Doom and that probably have the same audience.
Yeah,
pretty close to. I mean, like gory wise.
Yeah, it's very much in the same vein, with Gears leaning a little more into the sci-fi kind of stuff, being another planet and all that. So, and not even on Earth type of story. So you got Wolfenstein in July 26th, and then like September 10 is Gears 5. Weird release date too. It's not even in the fall or the summer really. And then was it in November for Doom Eternal? Was it late October?
Um,
Did you look that up
say
while
October.
I'm riffing on my next one?
Yeah.
And then, like I said, Wolfenstein Youngblood. We're gonna play the shit out of that. And
November
you need
22nd.
to borrow my copies of New Order and New Colossus or Wolfenstein.
Okay.
Two of the best shooters I've ever played. Not quite as good as 2016 Doom, which also you need to play on stream. Like, dude, you're gonna love them. And so many people that I've been following are like, I didn't get into Doom in 2016, and now they're playing it for the first time, going, oh my god, this is amazing, because it was so much different than shooters at the time. November 22nd, 2019 for Doom. So it's going to be a really good rest of the year for shooters for me, for story shooters at least.
Yeah.
I've never got into the Gears multiplayer, and Doom's multiplayer sucked in 2016 because it wasn't the same team that made it.
Oh, odd. Why'd you separate your teams?
Yeah, but they focused on one of the greatest story campaigns in shooters I've ever played.
True.
So I'm fine with that because oh my god, that game was beautifully designed and the mechanics were just perfect.
Gears multiplayer is always pretty. That combat is tough. Gotta know your spawns and everything.
Yeah.
Freaking. Oh yeah. I played a lot back in the day.
Difficult game for me. Might need to take a break here after we get through this, but then I'll try to clip it out if I can. Or you can vamp too about what I've got.
Okay.
Or I'll get through my 2019 stuff and then I'll go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Sorry, stomach's just being stupid. So yeah, Wolfenstein Youngblood co-op. It's gonna be awesome. It's more Wolfenstein. Doesn't look like it's graphically much different than the last two, which is fine because I really loved the last two. And it's a co-op game, so we're gonna play it. It's gonna be fantastic. And again, Doom Eternal looks more like 2016 Doom, which is one of the greatest games of this generation, if not the best shooter of this generation. So it's gonna be fucking fantastic. And that's my 2019 stuff. I'm gonna take a break.
Okay.
Joey, entertain the chat.
Yes. All right.
It's all on you. Don't fail me.
Yeah. Okay.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Don't fail me now.
Oh, I should probably make sure you're focused. You can actually be on camera.
I can totally be the things. No, I don't know. Gears 5. Tom is right. That's a soon release, and I feel like we've barely seen trailers for it. Any like sparsity of gameplay. There's been. It's kind of sad because I do like the Gears franchise. I always felt like they had a good horde mode. That was always fun. Multiplayer, like I said, freaking not the best at it, but I had friends that were really good at it, and they always carry my big old chunk of booty everywhere. Yeah, they're really good at it. Yeah, quick shout out to Bryce. Dude, that dude could wreck some people. Hold on. Quick look at the gear stuff. What happened? I think there was a little bit of gameplay because they had a new horde mode of some sort. Yes, they did. It's called Escape. Yeah, Gears 5 Escape. So it looks like it's got. Which I'm kind of interested to see how that plays. I'm not for sure. Kind of interesting to see how that does work. What else? The timeshare by 2019. Wolfenstein. Never played any of the Wolfensteins, like Tom said. Actually did play a little bit for what do you say? There was a charity stream we did for the kids that we for the kids. Geez, I can't think of the charity stream. It's all right. I played a little bit of it. We played on the biggest difficulty and hardest difficulty, and it was I don't know that maybe that was the quiet turn off for me, but it made me upset. Mechanics of the game look interesting. Doom, never played to Doom. Don't know why. It didn't seem too attractive to me. I'm like, oh, it's a Doom. It's another big gory shooter. That's just me on Doom. Coughing.
You dead?
Sorry. Yeah, slowly, surely, but I am dying.
Okay,
No,
I'm back.
Talk about Doom.
2020 stuff in 2020.
We're back in 2020. What?
We can't talk about the 2020 stuff. Not talking about fucking Cyberpunk.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That trailer was awesome. It was a fantastic trailer. You're going through, you're seeing the world, what's going on. And then, like, in this moment where your friend's dying, you're getting a little bit more about the world, like your body's getting hacked and shit, and then you end up in a dump, like, you know, like where they like literally just dump a body. And then here comes this dude who sounds a lot like Keanu Reeves. Calls you samurai and says we gotta go burn down the city. And then he leans down into frame and it's motherfucking Keanu Reeves.
Dude, that was such a great reveal.
I kicked myself away from my desk. It's like, what the fuck? And then stage opens up. He's bathed in white light and he just walks out into the crowd as a metal song plays, going, "Oh my god!" And the crowd lost their shit even more because he's Keanu fucking Reeves.
My favorite part is the person yelled out, "You're breathtaking." And
then like, "No, you're breathtaking."
I was like, "This is so
And then
great.
that guy is getting a free copy of the collector's edition.
Yes, go him.
That's
Go
marketing
fucking
101
him.
right there.
Yeah.
That was just such a cool video game moment of a guy who clearly, I mean, I don't know if video games are his thing, but cyberpunk's his thing, right? Like, he's been in so many cyberpunk movies. Like, that kind of edgy sci-fi stuff, like Scanner Darkly, the one last year about the clones that he was in, which was a weird fucking movie. Alice Eve was his, like, dead wife that he put her brain in, like, a robot body and she went insane and shit. Obviously the Matrix movies, Johnny Mnemonic, whole bunch of stuff. He's been in a lot of stuff.
He has been.
And now he's in Cyberpunk 2077. Like, if you could have picked an actor to put in a Cyberpunk game, and his character's also named John.
Yeah, that's cool.
And like,
John Wick.
It's, I mean, he's been John in like how many movies? It's like 12 movies. And if you could have picked one actor to play a character in a Cyberpunk game, and you didn't start with Keanu, I would have had to question your credibility as a human being. Because it was such a cool fucking... Like, that was one of the coolest moments I can remember at an E3. Like, that's going to be... Yeah. When E3 dies, and we all talk about, hey, remember when this thing was a thing 10 years ago? That moment, that Keanu Reeves moment, is going to be in the top 5 all times.
It's gotta be.
Like, that's going to be right up there with the Sony just dropping bombs on Microsoft in 2013 with the, here's how you share a game. Like, that's right up there with that. But in a much more positive way. Like, who didn't like this?
I don't
right?
know.
Like, it wasn't taking a dig at anybody. It wasn't like a shock moment. It was a, here's this really cool fucking person being in this cool fucking game doing cool fucking shit.
Being awesome as fuck.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, Cyberpunk looks really fun.
Yeah, it looks great, and it continues the year of Keanu. The Keanu-sance is alive and thriving. John Wick dominating at the box office. He's in Cyberpunk. He's in fucking Toy Story 4. He's in that Netflix movie. That by the way is really good.
Okay.
He's only in like 3 scenes. They're fantastic scenes, and the rest of the movie is just as good. Like, I'm not a huge rom-com guy.
Yeah,
when it's written, directed, and like produced by comedians, you got my interest. And it's Randall Park and Ali Wong, 2 of the funniest comedic writers and actors, doing stuff. And Keanu's in it. Okay. You got my hour and a half view time, and it was worth it. I constantly was laughing at that movie. You should all watch it.
It's good.
It's like an hour 40 on Netflix. It's really good. Randall Park just fucking murders it.
Ugh.
He needs to be in more shit. Just period. Like, he needs to be the FBI guy. He needs to be the new Coulson, because he's in Ant-Man 2. His character, that FBI character, needs to be the new Coulson for Phase 4 and 5. Cool. Like, he needs to be in those movies because he's so good.
Yeah.
Especially given what's happened in the MCU with Coulson in Seasons 5 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Which, oh my god, Season 6 has actually been really good.
So the restart was pretty good. Or
yeah,
was this...
It's kind of a restart because they thought Season 5 was going to be the end, and it was a damn good end if it was going to be. Same with... It got the supernatural treatment of, here's your finale. Oh, wait, you're getting more episodes. So good luck with that, writers. And they're doing a really good job. They're doing a really good job with it, which I've been very impressed. Other 2 things that tie together very intrinsically for me in 2020. Sorry if I'm shaking my webcam.
Ah!
Halo Infinite and Project Scarlet, which they didn't really name the name of the console because they're probably still, testing that, and they don't have specs locked for anything. So the Halo trailer,
That was cool.
I was a little like, you know, just kind of rubbing my hands, like just watching, going, okay, the graphics are
Yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Got some story about a guy stuck in space. You know, like that's never a not good story. You know, as long as it's told and acted well and VO'd well, that's gonna be cool to see. And then you hear like the military type, friendly foe thing, and then he swipes it. It's John 117, and the Halo music starts kicking up as John and he powers up the suit, and it's the OG Halo Halo 3 like Mark 6 suit. That because it's not the Mark 5, it's definitely Mark 6, but like high def as fuck Mark 6. Because Mark 7 was Halo 4, so this looks like
okay.
like Cortana used nanites to rewrite the framework of the suit, which I actually liked Halo 4's suit, but this is definitely Halo 3 suit, just like with now graphics. I'm like, oh shit, this is what Halo 3 could look like if they remade it, and I kind of want them to remake it because it'd be fucking awesome. But you were kind of
concerned me was no gameplay.
Well, it's still over a year out. It's not going to launch until next October, next November. It's still 16, 17 months out. Yeah. I wouldn't want them to show me gameplay. If they don't show gameplay by next spring, even just a little bit, yeah, because that's 6 months. Yeah. But, they're making a brand new engine and, kind of soft rebooting the story. So, I'm game. And it really does seem like they've learned and have listened to what broke in 5. Like, they're going back to the OG Halo score, the OG Halo designs. They're going back to a Halo, literally. Like, and where they left off with Halo Wars 2, I'm like, oh shit, they could bring it all together. Because Halo Wars 2 story was actually pretty fucking good. I really dug that shit. It didn't have a lot of polish that the first Halo Wars did, with not every level had a dope fucking blur cutscene. Which, oh my god, the cutscenes in Halo Wars 1 still hold up. Blur is fucking magicians when it comes to cutscenes. Like, just let them make the Halo movie with the Halo voice actors. Ooh. I would watch it 5 times in theaters. Like, dude, I would pay through the ass to watch that movie.
Halo movie so bad.
Like, give me it in the the Halo 2 remaster, like that good of a quality. Oh fuck, that'd be great.
I just want to see that in LDX because I just want to hear the.
Because it doesn't have to be live action.
It doesn't. No, you don't have to do that. I don't know why people think they have to do that.
I think now that Spider-Verse came out and did as well as it did, I think people are going to realize, we could get back to doing theatrical animated movies.
Fuck yes, please.
Like beyond the kidsy stuff.
Yeah, do some serious shit in animation.
Because actually, Clone Wars, the movie, The Clone Wars, had a movie that came out theatrically. Star Wars: The Clone Wars. The show had the miniseries was a movie that launched in theaters. Like, I remember that. It was between Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones. And it got full press and everything. Like, do that with a Halo? You have my money. And then we got some stuff with Stadia. Or not Stadia. Scarlet. Project Scarlet, their next-gen console. Okay. Which I'm interested in, because mine's on its last leg.
She's limping? Oh.
Yeah. It turns off and on by itself and shit.
Oh no, that's not good. It's possessed by some sage.
Not great.
No, so what do they announce Scarlet? Because that's one thing I didn't look
Not much. It's mostly just here's what it is, here's what we're aiming for, like 120 FPS, end of life, probably 8K resolution support, so definitely, super solid 1080p, 60 frames a second every game, plus 4K probably at 30, probably. Maybe 60 if they get it optimized well. They're running it on the next gen AMD Ryzen stuff. The 7mm, or is it the 12mm chip? I can't remember what it was. Like, they're going all AMD stuff, like super high end. They're gonna have 2 tiers too, again, probably the Pro and the regular. Much like how there's the 1X and the S now.
All right.
And they're not gonna have 3 like the current Xbox model is changing in that they're not gonna do a launch and then 2 extra tiers. Okay. I think they're streamlining things more with this launch, where they're still going to be all backwards compatible, which is great. Also a new Elite controller. Yeah. We're getting a new Elite controller, so I might do that, and I'm going to start saving because I want to go hard in the next gen. Like, I want to get 4K monitor. I want to get the Xbox, I want to get an Elite controller and Halo Infinite, and then my life will be complete. Now the
So
only
what's the push with 8K? That's one thing I just want to bring up quick. When I feel like most consumers don't really even have a 4K.
actually the adoption rates of 4K are skyrocketing. Like,
Okay.
the adoption rate is through the roof because they're so much cheaper. Like you can get a good set of a 4K 55 for like $600.
Okay.
Not a great one. You're still looking at probably $1,000. But 5 years ago, $1,000 couldn't even really get you a great 1080p.
Yeah.
Right?
True too,
Like
I guess,
my
yeah.
sister got a 1080p five years ago, and it was mid tier for about $999. And if you wanted to get a great one, you're still talking $1,400. And that's what 4Ks were a couple years ago, and now they're down. Like you can get a really nice, like a Vizio P series for like $900, or a Sony 750, 800 series for about the same price.
Okay.
And the prices have dropped a lot, and the quality has improved drastically in terms of lag time, HDR support, all those things. And yeah, 8K is on the horizon, but I think 8K is the last technical visual improvement. I think we're going to see more color at like HDR options, better sound support. You know, like audio is the next step, like the Dolby Atmos stuff, the whole home surround sound systems, lighting, like theater lighting. Not to mention like that they're going to get more technical with the screens themselves, like the AI going into them for assistant programs and software. You're going to get better hardware in it for those components. You're going to get better CPUs. You know, actual probably RAM now that can actually run shit. You know, especially as Stadia gets into things. If Google puts their stuff, they're gonna like maybe supplement hardware on TVs. Who knows?
That'd be kind of interesting.
Maybe they get into making a TV.
Google
That's
TV.
kind of an extension of their Stadia program. If they make a TV, that if you buy that TV, you get a year of Stadia.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
wouldn't be
like
such a bad thing
that
to
would
do.
not shock me because they're big enough to just buy the supply chain. That's how big fucking Google
God
is.
damn, that's fucking scary.
Like they could fucking buy Vizio. That's how big they are.
It's true. I mean, they fucking could.
And
I mean,
all
they
their
got
stuff
tons
actually,
of them,
and
yeah.
Vizio, all their stuff runs Chromecasts right now. Like all their smart stuff is Google based.
It's basically already Googled, yeah.
So it wouldn't shock me if they partnered with a Vizio, who make very well regarded M and P series. Their cheap stuff sucks. Their mid to good stuff, it competes with anything Sony's doing and anything LG's doing except the OLED, which is totally different. It's a different type of television.
What's
Plus,
OLED?
OLED is a different type of LED bulb. It is much smaller, more efficient, and far brighter. So your color contrast is much, much better. And you can actually get like a legit black out of the bulb. It's not just turning off. It's a legit black out of the bulb.
Holy crap, okay.
So you can get a legit true black. It's fantastic.
Okay.
And like the burn-in rates have improved a ton, and they're super thin. Like they're thinner than your phone.
Holy crap. That's
And they're only getting thinner. Like there's ones that literally fold up into a scroll, and you can just pop them out onto the wall.
that scares me a little bit. It's
Yeah, but
cool.
they don't break.
Yeah.
Right? Like think moving your TV, you just literally pop the magnets off the wall and fold it up into a bag, like into a poster tube. That's your TV.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope as fuck.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I can see where that'd be quite. But like in a scenario such as that, you still have to have side ports and stuff.
Oh yeah, but a lot of that's probably gonna be wireless connectivity. Like that's another thing. Wireless HDMI streaming. That's totally gonna be a thing.
That's
Like we're gonna cast everything.
so futuristic.
That's coming sooner than later. It already is a thing with Apple Cast and the Chromecast and you know all that stuff. That's coming sooner than you think because that technology has improved drastically, especially as we get like into better wireless frequencies and stuff. That's gonna be cool. And those are like the next frontiers of television, not so much the screen itself, because we're kind of hitting the threshold of what the eye can do, just biologically what our eyes can do. And the next step is the tech around the screen, and the whole home experience is the next step.
Increasing. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Well, that eventually, like, maybe that's a long haul, but eventually, if you keep doing that, theater. Or
hang on, you cut out. What was that?
What? All right. So eventually, like, it would be a long time down the road, but you think that'll start hurting theaters when they start improving dramatically?
Maybe down the road,
experience
as theaters get expensive to operate and movies get more and more expensive, possibly. But I don't think it's ever going to really do away with it because, for most people, it's going to be a while until this all stuff is something they can afford
Yeah.
to do and do well, and do it in a way that beats that theater experience. Because theaters are gonna, I think, start to emulate your draft houses and your premium type. They're gonna lean into the premiumness of it,
Premiumness. Okay.
and
makes sense.
that's the niche. Like, there's always going to be a niche for the purist, the enthusiast, the premium, like the guy who wants the premium, the best.
Mhm.
And I think theaters are leaning into that already. You know, like better seating,
Oh, God,
beer,
yeah.
food. You know, talking you're kicked out. Like, you're
That's
already
very
seeing
fair.
the industry kind of go there, and I would imagine theaters are going to continue to do it. That's a better experience than you're ever going to get at home.
Yeah.
Like, not it's like unless
Well,
you're dropping 15 grand, and that's not a joke. 15 grand, you're
You get your
not
house
beating
set
a
up.
theater. Like, if and I'm talking like the best case scenario, like it's totally quiet, or the audience is totally into it. You know, like the energy level depends. Like, I don't want a totally quiet theater for Fast and Furious. Okay, it's a cheesy action movie. The audience should dictate, like, should be in on that. But like Mission Impossible Fallout, that theater was fucking silent, and it was awesome because it was just so intense, right? Like,
yeah.
that experience, like A Quiet Place. A
Oh
Quiet
my
Place
God, yeah.
is such a theater movie, not an at-home movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
And there's always going to be that hook to theaters that, unless you have the money to drop tons on your home setup, your best case scenario at a movie is always going to be what you can do at home.
Yeah.
You know? And there's always going to be that market there. I think we might see less and less theaters
Okay.
in terms of like our local Forest City
Like
one.
small. Yeah.
I don't think that's going to stick it out, but
You know, probably has no legs too. One theater, local theater. Speaking of that, I want to see improve themselves. The Algoni one.
well, that's the ownership. That's the theater itself is actually pretty nice.
Yeah, but I mean, like
The
can
ownership
do-
sucks.
They can put a little more money into your seating and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
try to compete a little bit better with Mason Shooting.
They're in the middle of nowhere though. They don't have to.
They can still bring in
People in Algona do
dollars.
not drive over to Mason.
No,
It doesn't
they don't.
happen.
They don't. But
Yep.
if they improve their seating, I think it'd be a great.
Like, if I had the money, I would totally, like, if I won the lottery, I would just like buy a huge space in Forest City. Like, maybe I'd tear down the Forest City Foods thing, or I'd tear
That'd be a
down
good spot for
Shopko,
it.
and that's where I'd put the theater.
Ooh,
And
what's
I'd
a better
build it-
location? Forest City Foods. or
Shopko for sure, because
Yeah.
bigger parking
Did you
lot.
get the bowling alley crew? Fuck yeah, dude.
Build bigger parking lot, and then you put up a 5-plex in Forest City,
Oh yeah.
and you make it full service bar and wings. And with like bar and apps, like beer and appetizers, like no burgers or anything, just bar food, like bar apps and beer, and
That'd be fucking dope.
it's a 3 or 4 movie theater plex.
Hells
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, pretty good.
But anyway, that's enough about that. We
That's
got a
what
little
we're
more
gonna
stuff to get
block
to.
out.
A little more stuff to get to. We got some local news to talk about.
Yeah.
Let me transition
I'm
here.
excited for this stuff because I never.
So Joey, here I'm gonna drop you
Yes,
the link
sir.
here. Did you get this link? You open up all the links?
Yeah.
Okay. Iowa has bears now. If you didn't know.
Woo! Scary, actually.
The videos
fucking
show,
predators.
and DNR experts do believe that it is the same bear 3 years in a row in the same space, which means it's probably a permanent resident now. Like, it has made a den and is staying there. For a long time, Iowa's had a lot of bears, black bears, brown bears. I guess just black bears mostly, that are in the area. They usually come out of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and then go back. They usually don't stick around. And in fact, there hasn't been a confirmed resident bear since the 1880s.
Jeez, that's funny.
That's the last confirmed one. There's probably been some,
That's
but that's just the last
Crazy.
on record one.
On record. Okay.
Especially because in the 1880s, Iowa was still super sparse. Like, our town didn't even exist yet.
Oh, jeez, that's weird to think about. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
So this is in Winnesheek County, which I do think is very much northeastern Iowa. Yeah, near Decorah. Yeah, full-grown black bear. Guy by the name of Zach Anderson was posting a video while he was out turkey hunting.
Oh shit.
Let me see if I can get the. I'm gonna mute the audio. We'll see if we can get the video to play.
There's an ad that plays right before. So heads up.
Yeah, like there's the bear out there. Let me full screen it.
Holy fuck, dude.
First off, Mr. Vertical fucking Video.
Dude! I'm so in agreement with you! This pisses me off. Me and my mom have long talks about this in argument. That's just so much easier doing this. No, Mom! You've turned your float sideways. Damn it, Ori.
Oh,
Sorry.
no. WHO, no.
Bad.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool. Like, we've had a couple wolves that have been in the area too, so the wolf population in Minnesota is expanding.
Yeah, and it's been actually quite horrible for the hunting. Because the deer are just running away and just getting eaten up.
And they should, because they're diseased as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, that fucking wasting disease has destroyed the deer population. And that's what happens when you don't have wolves. Because coyotes ain't gonna kill deer.
Fuck no, they ain't.
Now, deer will fuck their shit up. They ain't scared of coyotes. They'll fuck their shit up. They can kick way harder than a coyote can bite. So, they'll destroy them. Because, I mean, coyotes are basically small, like, medium-sized dogs.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and then,
Ballpark.
pretty much, they're basically the size of a lab-ish. Like a scrawny lab.
Smart, yeah.
And, so, like, I had no problems with my dog going up against a coyote, because it'll probably win. Because, like, they're just bigger. And coyotes are way more skittish than a dog. And, like, wolves are huge. And they will fuck deer up. And you need that because we don't hunt enough deer. Like, our sporting population doesn't kill enough deer. And that's what happened that led to this massive spread of that wasting disease. Like, it's decimated the deer population in dozens of states. Like, it's a national crisis, basically. Like, it's a low-level one. But, like, no state has been untouched. Like, you can't eat it. And it spreads so easily. It spreads in any type of fluid contact. If you, like, leave the deer out and it's like another deer steps on, like, the carcass or anything, it's got it. Like, it's super contagious. It doesn't really die in the environment. And so, but it doesn't crush species. So if the wolves can come in and kill a whole bunch of them, and then the healthy deer can live and survive and, you know, restart their population, it's gonna help a lot. But that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, you can actually eat it, by the way.
Well, there's still some stuff where they're like, it has to be tested. Which
Oh,
is,
yeah. You
it
said
has to be tested.
but
Yeah.
you can still eat it.
I wouldn't. Myself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it might cause other problems with you.
Yeah.
But as a person like me, I could eat a deer with wasting. But
yeah.
Yeah, and we do need people to go out and, like, people are like, oh, against hunting and stuff like that. No, we do need it. We need to control the population.
We got rid of all the predators.
Huge arrows.
We're the predator. So
we're the predator. We don't want to hunt. Like, come on.
We kind of got to do our fucking jobs.
Yeah, we're not doing it.
We took over that role.
I think introducing wolves, though, I don't know if that's a good plan. Because they kind of take over the area.
Yeah, but that's it depends on how big their population gets. Because again,
because like northern Minnesota's like fucked up right now with the wolves,
and that's because it needs to find an equilibrium. You go out to, you know, Yellowstone, and reintroducing the wolves was a godsend. Like, Yellowstone was years away from becoming an ecological disaster because the moose and the elk had fucked everything up. Like, they ate everything.
They overate themselves. Yep.
And then, like, they destroyed the environment. Like, there was no underbrush. The trees were dying. It was bad. The whole ecosystem was dying because there was no bugs, no pollinating, nothing. It reintroduced wolves. The elk stay away from rivers. They stay away from the brush. They stay away from, you know, center places where, like, they can't see the wolves coming. And, oh shit, the environment's healthier. Like, and that's proper conservation. Also, because people don't hunt on Yellowstone.
Yeah, you can't.
Right? So
super illegal.
that's a whole other thing.
I guess it's gotten so bad because, like, you can't hunt wolves in northern Minnesota.
It'll get there. Like, it has in Colorado. They do hunts.
Well, no, the population's gotten so bad, like, they can't basically even hunt up there because they got people at work that said, yeah, basically hunting northern Minnesota is basically useless. So basically what the local population has done is that they've gone and stuck glass in meatballs and then just try to get rid of the wolves because apparently they say it's such a plague up there.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's a violent way to go.
They're also a lot more desolate up there too, like a lot more sparse.
Oh, yeah.
They're heavily wooded in a way that southern Minnesota isn't.
Yeah, I just love the way northern Minnesota looks.
Yeah,
I miss trees, dude. Like, lots of trees.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to another animal story before we get to our trailer talk, because we're just about at an hour.
Okay.
So this is from Seoul, South Korea. Seoul, South Korea.
Okay.
An aquarium where a female shark eats a male shark because he ran into her. That's how territorial sharks are.
Sorry.
So, via Newsweek, an 8-year-old shark took 21 hours to eat a 5-year-old male inside the same tank at the Coex Aquarium. Basically, chomped its head and just started swallowing it for 21 hours. Probably gonna puke it all up, but that's a whole other thing because of how sharks digest food. So the shark, the younger shark, the 5-year-old male, probably bumped her, and then they say bumped her, and then she immediately got startled and ran around and just bit him because they're very territorial. So like if you ran into it, they'll fuck you up. If they don't see you coming and you hit them, you're dead.
Jeez.
Like that's how intense sharks are.
But like her dedication is
21
ridiculous.
hours to eat
I
another
mean,
shark.
If something takes
crazy.
me more than a minute, I give up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, sharks are single-minded killing machines.
Jesus, that's so cool. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to bring this up just to end on a light note. So,
Yeah.
it's time for trailer talk. Now, we're going to be watching the trailer for The Boys, which is a Prime Video, technically original. It's an adaptation of a graphic novel from 2006 to 2008. Starring the one and only Carl fucking Urban. That's another guy where I was like, all right, if someone was going to be in Cyberpunk, it's Keanu and Carl Urban.
Yeah, true.
And if Carl Urban is like stealthily in that game, I'm going to be really fucking excited.
Cyberpunk well played. Damn.
Like,
this game of the year.
Urban's my fucking dude, man. He's been awesome since like basically Two Towers. Like he's Aomer. He's been in Red. First Red was dope as fuck, and he's awesome. Dread, Ragnarok, Chronicles of Riddick, plus Riddick itself, the movie. He's Judge Dredd. It's perfect, fucking perfect. So anyway,
Yay!
we're gonna watch the trailer for The Boys. If you don't want to watch The Boys trailer, now is your time to tune out.
I was gonna say cool title for a show.
Well, it's the name of the comic book.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was a graphic novel. Shit. Okay.
it's a graphic novel. Yeah. It came out in the wake of Preacher, so it's very, very NSFW here. Okay. Here's your chance to peace out. Joey, we're gonna play it in 3, 2, 1, play.
The greatest superhero team the world's ever seen. The Seven.
Is there anything I can help you with?
I'm not gonna piss you about, Huey. I heard what happened to Robin.
You ain't alone, son. Soups lose hundreds of people each year to collateral damage.
I can't stop.
They were my business on the front page.
That's where me and the boys are coming.
I never wanted to ever be over.
Spank the bastards when they get out of line.
Can you control her, please?
You need to unclench your asshole.
Why are you two carrying on like a bunch of fucking twins?
Who the fuck is this?
We got a fucking job to do.
I'm invincible, stupid motherfuckers.
I'm the world's greatest superhero. I can do whatever the fuck I want. We're on the verge of nailing these wankers.
I'm done.
Oi, what's Sporty Spice up to?
Who? Sporty fucking Spice. What's she up to?
I don't know.
And baby, not even page 6 of the Daily Mail.
You see, when they're apart, they're absolute fucking rubbish. But you put them together, they're the goddamn fucking Spice Girls. The point is, we need each other. We're fucking dead in the water.
Jesus, he gives the worst pep talks.
He really does.
I
can't do this. You just pulled the fucking trigger!
Sorry.
We're the Seven. Earth's most mighty motherfucker.
Please, no, please.
Pardon my French. Fuck those fuckers.
If you wanna be my lover.
Yeah.
Dude,
That looks
What?
good.
serious fucking trailer, my dude. A Spice Girls reference to freaking bring him. What the fuck?
It looks real good. Looks
That's fucking-
very in line with the comic books, at least in terms of the tone. There's some story differences, I think. But man, it looks good, and I'm very, very excited.
Fucking have to see it. We forgot to talk about that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be a we watch it like together maybe if Rabbit gets its head out of its
Yeah.
ass.
Fucking hey, that's so good.
By the way, Rabbit may be dying. They're out of money
Oh.
apparently. Like that's what the word on the Reddit is.
Oh no.
That, like that's why it keeps having connection issues because they're running out of servers because they don't have any money.
Damn.
Yeah. So movie nights maybe a thing of the past, at least for remote. Unless you want to pirate everything, which I don't. I hate doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Dude,
that
I'm
sucks.
excited for boys.
It's gonna be
What
fantastic.
you really, really want? God
Yep.
damn.
Well, it's
That's
been
good.
pretty much an hour of podcasting, Joey.
Boys.
Anything
Alright,
else you
so-
want to add?
No, this is kind of, I guess, for after the podcast, but would you want to talk about Chernobyl?
That is something I do want to talk about.
Okay.
Might want to talk about that next week. We have like a
Yes.
full time to devote to it.
Okay.
If we were
so
gonna do it,
I have a friend whose grandpa, she's from Russia, and whose grandpa, I guess, like hauled some stuff away from Chernobyl and stuff like that and dumped it. Like, who actually was involved with it?
damn.
Involved with like it, but like cleaning up after the mess.
Yeah,
And I would like to try to talk to her.
that'd be cool.
I was like, damn, that's fucking shit.
That's crazy.
I know. I was like, what?
All right. Well, on that note, we're gonna end the podcast here. For those of you watching on Twitch, stick around. If you're on YouTube, we do this live every other week ish, sometimes every week, depending on what we want to talk about. We're over at twitch.tv/bottomshelfnerds. So you can go ahead and follow us there. Obviously, subscribe here and hit the like and the bell and everything. Standard YouTube stuff applies. Text message rates and all that apply. All that shit. See you around.
Peace, my dudes.